Hey y'all, how are you doing? I figured I'd share a dream that I had. I never remember dreams, but this one time, just this once, I did remember one. I think on average I remember one dream a year, and I never remember the really cool dreams. All I remember, I just have this sort of just like the notion that I had a really cool dream. And the more I try to remember it, the more it just that whole memory just kind of dissolves, kind of like a fog. You're trying to grab a hold of it, but you can't. It's not tangible. And you try to write it down. I've heard of people telling me that, hey, if you write down your dreams every day, you can get better at remembering them. I can't remember it, period. So there's nothing to write down. Sometimes I'll hear some really nice dialogue, really funny. The way someone says something will be very absurd. And I'll think, oh, I need to write that down so that I could write about it in the future. And then as soon as I open my eyes, I can't remember it. And if I try to write it down, just like what I recall from it, it lost its nuance. So it doesn't have that same charm in that expression that the person in the dream used. But anyway, so I had this dream, and this dream is pertaining to a scatological subject. This is scatologically themed. If you don't know that terminology, just look it up, and if you're not interested, then you should just not listen to the rest of it, because this is not the kind of dream that I've ever had in my life. I am grossed out by it. But anyway, I figured I'd share it, see what you thought that the dream meant. I have my own interpretation that I'll share afterward. But I had this dream where I'm in school, this massive school. So I'm back in school, and I'm not sure what I'm doing there, if I'm taking classes or what. But this was like an enlarged version of my junior high. Walking around, and this one authority figure stops me and says, "You need a new ID." And I already had the pre-existing knowledge that, no, I don't need a new ID because my ID is only 1 year old. You know how dreams give you pre-existing, they give you a background, which I've always found interesting. So they give you a background. You already have like a memory that has been programmed to you. So you already know, hey, I have an ID that's only 1 year old. So I don't need a new ID. I got this last year. And I showed it to the authority figure, who might have been the principal, vice principal. I don't know who that person was, but all I knew was this person was, he had some power in the school. So he told me, nope, you need a new ID. So I'm like, great. Now I'm looking for a place to take my ID picture, and I don't know why I didn't ask him for instructions, but anyway, I'm looking around, and I'm kind of getting paranoid that I'm going to have trouble looking for it. And then suddenly a door pops open, and this one guy who I used to know when I used to work in coffee, dark-haired guy, Latino, he says, hey, this way, this is where you take IDs. So I have no idea how he knew that I'm looking for the place to take an ID photo, but this is a dream. So I'm just going with the flow. I walk in, I'm in the waiting area, and now I'm up next. It's my turn to take the photo. And the whole situation, the whole layout looked like it was a restroom. So you know how when you go to a public restroom, you don't just open the door and you see bathroom stalls and you see urinals. Usually they have it configured in a way where they kind of block off the view. So you have to walk through a sort of maze. You kind of have to go around and around. This is how it was configured. So I turned the corner, and I noticed that it's basically like a public restroom, but it had 2 toilets. So I saw one toilet where they were telling me to take a seat to take the ID photo. And I'm looking at the toilet, and obviously I know that it's a toilet, but I'm not thinking, wait, why do you want me to take a seat on the toilet to take a photo? I'm just like, why is there crap on the seat? So there was green crap lining the toilet seat. And the toilet was filled with, the water level was filled to the brim. Yeah, it just was like, I'm not taking a seat on that. And it had green stuff on it, but then there was also toilet paper that was ripped up. And they were also lining the toilet, and the green crap was on top of the toilet paper. So, and then on to my right, I look, and there's a toilet with just green stool in it. And when I looked at that toilet, I'm thinking, oh, he forgot to flush the toilet. I'm referring to the photographer. The photographer was like this blonde-haired, short-haired guy. And he reminded me of a college professor that I once took for sociology. And so I'm just thinking, oh, he forgot to flush the toilet after he used the restroom. Here's another toilet here where he's telling me to take a seat. I'm not thinking that. So weird dream logic, right? He tells me to take a seat, and I'm feeling the pressure. I'm like, okay, I need to take a seat, but I don't really want to get my pants. I don't want my pants to get covered in green crap, so I need to remove it. So I'm thinking, well, if I'm really careful, I could just lift the toilet paper where the green crap is sitting and just toss it into the trash can. And by the way, right before the photographer told me to take a seat, he actually wiped off a piece of the crap from the toilet, almost as if it didn't have more crap on it. So odd, right? Bizarre. So I get near the toilet. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to remove each toilet paper that has the crap on it. And the closer I get, the more I realize, I can't do this. And at that point, I think I hit the eject button. I was just like, I no longer want anything to do with this reality. I'm done. I cannot face this reality anymore. And I just threw myself on the ground. And as I throw myself to the ground, it was almost like the lights went out, like a light switch went out. Everything just went blank, like a dark, inky canvas. And I just see myself kind of throwing myself on the floor, surrendering. I threw in the white towel. I'm waving the white flag. I can no longer cope. I can no longer deal with this reality where I'm supposed to take a picture sitting on a toilet seat covered in green crap. And in that moment, that pose that I had on the ground, I'm looking away, I'm just facing the ground, I'm just like, no more. That was the same pose that I found myself on my bed when I woke up. So this was like a very simple, non-complex dream, but it was very vivid, and I remembered most of the details of it, which is strange because this is not usually how it works. Usually I don't remember a thing from my dreams. So I don't know why of all the dreams, this is the one I remembered. I've never dreamed about scatological material in the past. I'm not excited by it. I don't suffer from cockrophilia, which is actually a thing where people are aroused by it. I am a germaphobe, so maybe this was like a very paranoid dream that I had. It didn't feel like a nightmare, but it felt like a lot of pressure. And so every time I'm back at school, I think it pertains to my insecurity. Just being back in an institution with that kind of authoritarian presence where you feel like you have no control, you have to do as they tell you, you don't have any freedom, you don't have a voice, you don't have an opinion. They tell you this is the way it is, and you just have to write that paper and conform to their views. So I think it had something to do with that. I also think it had to do with just my overall insecurity and just feeling anxiety about having to do something, about fulfilling an obligation that I have to fulfill, even though I don't want to do it, but I still have to do it. So this was like an amplified version of my insecurities and anxieties to conform to society. But anyway, that's what I think. That is my psychoanalysis, armchair psychoanalysis of the dream. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you ever have difficulty remembering your dreams. Have you had any curious dreams where you wondered what it was all about? Yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.